How's it, golf fans? Reid Fowler here in the DK Live studios for our second major of the season, the PGA Championship at Bethpage Black in Long Island, New York. The 101st edition of the PGA will be a par 70, measure over 7,400 yards, and may play even longer if the wet conditions keep up, as it has all spring long up here in the Northeast. Weather looks okay as of today, but as always, check the forecast leading up to Thursday. The guys will be back on pole this week, similar to what we see on the West Coast swing, and Bethpage is no stranger to tough tracks. It's hosted major tournaments like the 2002 and 2009 US Opens, as well as the first leg of the FedEx Cup with the 2012 and 2016 Barclays. The US Open year is here ranked as the hardest tournaments on tour, and even though they changed one of their long par 4s into a par 5, the Barclays, it still was in the top 15 in difficulty in both of those years. The field will consist of all the top golfers on tour, as well as the PGA professionals who qualified, making this major more forgiving and more unique than the other three. We've seen a variety of winners here, like Lucas Glover, Y.E. Yang, Sean McKeel, Duffner, and old Keegan Bradley as a spot in this major's history. And other past winners here include Rory, Jason Day, Jimmy Walker, Martin Keimer, and Justin Thomas, who've etched their names in the Wanamaker Trophy. Key stats for me are going to be strokes taken off the tee as well as around the greens. Every major calls for an aptitude to get up and down. I'd also look at guys who do well in long par 4s measuring 450 to 500 yards. There are 8 par 4s measuring over 450 yards, 3 of which measure over 500 yards. My top pick and anchor this week is Patrick Cantlay at $8,200. He keeps churning out solid finishes with the top 15, 3 top 10s, and 2 top 5s since the Hero Challenge. He's got a couple of missed cuts in there, but that doesn't bother me in the slightest. Top 10 at Augusta and solid finishes at the past PGA appearances. He's going to win a big tournament. It's only a matter of time. Cantlay is just outside the top 20 in approach over the last 24 rounds, and is 12th in driving distance as well as top 5 in strokes gained par 4, and has been ranked inside the top 20 in strokes gained around the green over his last 12 rounds.